Well, a nice little job today. This customer actually got me off YouTube, so that was the whole original idea of putting YouTube videos up of my work so people could see and then decide if they want it, which is great. That's obviously worked. So all these are getting pruned and just neatened up and tidied, and I must stress, like I do always, there's probably times, well not probably, there is times to do certain shrubs and plants. When you get us to do it, we concentrate on neatness first rather than the flowers. That's not to say we don't want the flowers, of course we do, that's our job. But the first and foremost is neatness, and then we can always decide what we're going to do, when we're going to leave it, why we're going to leave it, if we're not going to leave it, and so on and so on. So this is all getting pruned, and this beech hedge, I'll take it over in a second, is getting squared. There's probably a name for it and I should know it, but I don't, but I'll explain in a sec. So as you can see, they've already been topped by someone. So what we're going to do is just make sure that the lower branches are squared off and the top's obviously squared sides, so it will look like a block, which is, I do like that. So that's the job for today as well. So we'll do that. And then obviously just pruning underneath, getting everything smart. I mean, it's certainly not a jungle. So let's see how we get on with that. This rhododendron is going to be a bit of a gamble, I will admit. It's very leggy, very thin. It looks really bad condition, poor condition. So I've just, well, I'm still in the middle of cutting some dead out. So that was all in it. Quite a bit really, and there's quite a bit more in it. So basically, when I say it's a gamble, there's nothing else you can do. You can't leave it like that. It's awful. So there is green on it, it is living, but I'm going to cut it down to about here. And then we'll feed it, but we'll give it some ericaceous soil, that's compost, with some, you know, it's got more acid in it than alkaline. They don't like alkaline soil. So we'll try that, and as I say, that's all we can do. It's, leaving it like that, it's just poor. So yeah, I'll get on with cutting that out. There's a branch there that needs to come out, and the rest cut down. So there is hardly anything left of the shrub. But if it's not growing, it's not growing. So that's it, that's the best we can do. No doubt someone will have their opinions, which you're quite welcome to. That's what I've done for years, cut things back. I'm going to feed it, and I'm going to just start taking the holly off the back bit. Okay, there's a few little trees coming through, well, branches, not trees. In fact, to be honest, it's off their tree and it's growing over and then back again, so we'll take that off. That's what's coming over this side. Okay, again, I want it neat, but I don't want to take all the berries off, so I am going to just trim it. Just get it as neat as I can. Okay, well, to be honest, that little branch I've just cut probably needs to be reduced anyway, because it'll just keep a balance of the holly, because it seems to be growing over too far. I mean, she probably does want a bit of privacy as well. But this is what I mean. There's always something. If you want privacy, you've got an odd-shaped shrub. And if you want a neat shrub, you haven't got the privacy. I mean, it still will grow. Like this hedge here, we can just let it grow more. But once I've got it neat, I can then decide. So anyway, I've got to make a decision. And my decision is I'm going to expose that a little bit there and to get that as round as I can. and it looks like I'm taking lots off there, but I'm not. I'm just going as careful as I can and leaving the berry, as many berries on as possible. But it does look a bit Edward Scissorhands there, but it wasn't. Okay, well, I'm only obviously not even halfway through, just getting through it, as you can see. The lady came out and just said it looks great already, which is always a good sign. I like that. I am going to box those beech behind me, as I've said earlier, and I've squared this and told her that it'll thicken up in time, which it will. And then she come up with the idea of, can we box that? So I'm going to take all the bottom skirt off that, all the bottom, and we'll leave that as a... I don't know if there's a proper name for it. I mean, you know, put it in the comments if there is a name for it. And once I read it, I'll probably say, oh, yeah, I remember now. Because don't forget, I'm 53 and I forgot quite a lot. I've got a head like a sieve, so I can't retain information. So I've always been like that. This is just a side issue, nothing to do with gardening. But like I say, I ride a motorbike, and I used to get motorbike, the MCN, and I used to get magazines. I used to get gardening magazines, books. I'd read them, I'd forget within an hour. I mean, this is all my life, I just forget. So anyway, I digress. So let's get on with that. These ladders I'm using as well are from Workwear. I've got the 8 foots and the 12 foots. They do others. They're brilliant. So this rhododendron is so straggly. It's not doing much. It's just falling over. It's healthy, and it's even got flowers on. But that's all at the end of these horrible, spindly branches. So what I'm going to do is, as you can see here, there's new branches, new little shoots. You're going to lose the flowers, I know that, but I'm going to cut it off here at this intersection here, and then at least we've got all these. So we're going to lose this one branch here, and this one here is sprouting here, so I'm going to cut that off and we're going to lose that, which is a shame. I do, you know, I don't just cut willy-nilly. I do think about it. I want the job to look good. That's just looking awful. It's not going to look good no matter what, even if you get flowers on it. So, believe it or not, don't enjoy cutting flowers off, but you can see it all coming from the bottom as well. All this is going to be new growth. So I'd rather see a really nice big healthy shrub, and we'll get the flowers next year. I know we're missing them, it's the nature of the beast, and that bit going over there really should come off. I'm going to take it off. And that's it. So I've just hand clipped that one. It's not the greatest shape. I haven't shaped it, I've just neatened it up what the shape it was, and now it's just a neater version of what it was. So ignore that. This holly, I am going to square it. Everything else seems to be rounded, so we're going to square it. It won't be so square today, but at least it'll be en route to becoming square next season. So I'll get on with that. Well, I just don't know what was happening with my leg. So that's it really, that's the start of it. I can see that it is more of a square than it obviously a circle, but it's going to need filling out, so it's not going to do anything this season. Well, it'll start doing a few shoots, it'll be stimulated and put a few shoots out, but next year that'll look great. It'll look really great, it'll look squared, and I'm going to be happy with that. Here's another little issue that it's one of them things that I love tidy ups, but I hate them because now that corner is so green, so bushy, you know. The thing is, if you leave it like that, it then becomes scruffy, and that is on the verge of being scruffy now. This is growing into that, it's growing into the formium, and it needs pruning. The only thing is that Acuba japonica, spotted laurel, once that gets cut, you're going to cut the leaves off, and then you're just going to be left with bare branches, so it's going to look a bit skeletal. It may not, but I think it will. But you know, it is what it is. It's got to be done, so I'm going to do that, and we shall see what it looks like when it's done. And there's nothing else to be done except prune it back. Can't leave it. We're just making a start now on the beech trees to box them off, and the word I was looking for was pleaching them, so they'll be pleached. So I've decided to put the extension pole on and then just do it from the ground. It's a bit safer than getting up the ladders if you don't have to. So that worked fine. To do the sides anyway. And now the clear up begins. I'm just going to mulch it down. This mulch isn't going to get put on the borders. I do actually take some away. Don't leave it always on gardens. And this garden doesn't call out for mulch putting on it because it's more formal. It's right in your face. We tend to put mulch on ones that are really badly needed or more countrified. But you'll see along the way on the videos the different ones we use and the ones we don't. And as you can see here, there isn't one bit of staining on the concrete. The last video I did with the This is LHL Pruning video, there was a little bit of green staining on the path. I think the bushes were so wet when I did it. But, you know, it soon comes off with a downpour of rain and there isn't one bit on this. So people were up in arms about it. And that's job finished. All pruned, neat, nice, and to start off on a blank sheet. And here's the poor little roadie. We'll have to give it some TLC. So, yeah, thanks for watching. And there's the pleached beeches, which will look great next year. Thanks for watching, yeah, and please subscribe.